everybody. Welcome back to December Daily 2021. These are days 7 and 8, and I'm going to say up front, I apologize for the little blurry weird square that keeps showing up, and it's going to show up throughout the video on the kind of bottom right hand side of your screen. I didn't realize when I was filming this that I had some personal information about my daughter showing there, and I didn't want to like everybody to see it, but I also wanted to still share this video with you. So hopefully it's not too distracting. I am not an expert at blurring things out, so unfortunately it's like on top of the video, like, so if my hand goes across it or whatever, you're going to see it. So I apologize. Hopefully you guys, it doesn't bother you guys too much. Anyway, onto the layout. So this one I wanted to use some of the alphas that I had in my stash. So I'm spelling out the word sock with these kind of puffy stickers. And then I've had these stickers in my stash for I don't even know how long. I think I got the circle ones from maybe Target, the dollar spot. And I'm just spelling out the word Advent. So basically, it's going to say sock advent. The picture on the left is my daughter with a pair of socks. We ended up grabbing an advent calendar that had 15 days worth of socks in it, and it was so cute. I'm so glad we got it. It was a lot of fun. She wore the socks like every day, and she showed her friends every morning when she went to school what new pair of socks she got, and it was just great. It was good for a gift for maybe like an older young teenager, or even an older person, older teenager that would really enjoy these. I think when I went to the store, there was ones with cats, there was a Friends one, I think there might have been a Star Wars one, I can't remember, but there was definitely a couple other varieties too, and I got them from Target. So hopefully they'll have them in next year, because we definitely want to pick that up again, because it was really a lot of fun. I just wish there was more than just 15 days. I wish it was like all 25, but it was even, I think it came down to like $1 a sock or something like that. But anyway, moving on to this card, I took some vellum. I wanted to back it. I didn't want the letters to seem like they're floating, so I had an old pair of those decorative scissors, and I cut that out to make it look kind of like a stamp shape. And then I took it to my sewing machine and sewed with some gold thread, just to give it a little bit more texture and dimension. I really like how that looks, and it just kind of grounds everything on that card. The next thing I'm going to be working on is the top right 3x4 card. This is a note that the elf left my daughter. My daughter still sees her elf every year. This year we did decide to do something a little bit different, or the elf did decide to do something a little different. She decided that she was going to give my daughter some money. And so instead of crazy antics and stuff that she normally did, because my daughter is getting a little bit older, she decided that she was going to hide envelopes with money in it. So each day my daughter had to find the elf, and then somewhere where the elf was another envelope with her name on it with some money in it. So it ranged from like $1, and then every once in a while she got a 5 or a 10 because she did like really well in school or something like that. But it was a lot of fun, and my daughter really enjoyed it. So now I am just creating a little pocket that little note can go into, and I used some vellum. It was just a scrap piece left over, and then I had this piece of that peachy colored paper. I wanted to bring that color across the page over here, so I just trim that out with my scallop punch, and then the vellum was that little lacy scallop punch. I sewed around with my sewing machine with some gold and white stitching, and now I'm just going to play with this probably too long, trying to figure out exactly what length I want, and I decided I wanted a little tab on here. I was going to use this whale punch, but I thought that the punch, or the tab, is just going to be a little bit too big, so I grab out this other punch from my stash. I've had this for quite some time. I think it was, oh, what is her name? I can't remember. I'm not sure if you can still get this punch or not, and I'm not sure if it actually says on the punch where I got this from, or the brand, but it was like it was just like a special exclusive punch, and I'm just not sure they're available. But there's lots of punches on the market now that are punches like this that do a tab. I just folded the piece of cardstock in half so it has the color on both sides, and I'm just going to glue that down with my wet adhesive, or my dry adhesive, and I'm just going to sandwich that between the paper, or put the paper in between the tab. I decided to flip it over because I didn't want the tab to cover any of the writing, and I thought it would cover less if I did on this side, and I'm just going to slip that on and then slip that in the pocket, and it fits just perfectly once I fold it again. And I'm done. So now I'm going to just add adhesive behind some of the letters on this one, and a little bit of liquid glue because I want to make sure it really stuck, and I'm going to glue that down, so that 3x4 will be done after this. And then next I'm going to move on to some journaling. I'm going to take this joy-filled card. First I'm going to add a couple stars on it for some decoration, but then I'm going to end up putting some vellum down and I'm going to do my journaling on my vintage typewriter. Oh, and sorry, I first put down my font with the puffy font there first, and I'm going to come back to the joy-filled card here in a second. I thought the little puffy gold heart would look really cute on the O in socks. And oh, before I even go to the joy-filled card, I'm going to add this calm puffy sticker here too. So I'm just adding that branding strip on top of the photo here. And I thought the one with the little deer on it was really super cute, so I just trimmed it in half. I'm going to use that as an anchor to put that word calm on there. And I thought that was a nice resting place for that word. And then it brought that gold throughout the layout. I thought about using these gold number stickers, and I was going to add it to the picture of the elf here, the 3x4 picture, but it ends up not working out. I actually don't put any number there. I'm going to do something completely different. So first I punched out this little vellum circle, and I didn't like how the 8 was looking. It just felt like it was going to float around too much. So I end up adding this little puffy heart, and I'm going to add a word strip as well. I think it says believe. And I'm going to try to make the number sticker work, and it's just not going to work. So it's going to end up just looking like this with only the circle with the believe and the heart there. I didn't like the gold because I thought it was just too much gold, so I thought, well, maybe it'll look better with red. So I'm going to pull out my white number font, and I'm going to color that number font in with a red marker. And I'm going to try that, and it just still didn't look right. So I ended up putting it someplace else, which you guys will see in just a couple minutes. So I'm just using my Sharpie markers here, coloring it in, letting it dry between coats, and it dries pretty quickly because it's an alcohol-based marker, but I wanted it to be really dark, so I did put about 3 layers on. So just kind of messing with the placement on here. I thought it was going to look better if I put it up a little higher. And I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to try to put that 8 there. It's not going to work. And what I'm going to end up doing is putting the 8 over on the top right 3x4 card next to nice. And I'm just going to slip it on top of the vellum part of that card. After I get all the little circles out of the middle of the 8. So yeah, I'm just going to stick it there. That's where it's going to end up going. And I think that looks fine. And then I'm going to add a number 7 on to the card with my daughter at the socks at the very end of the video. So now I'm going to work on the joy-filled card finally, and I'm going to add 3 little stars. I'm going to add 2 at the top, and then I think I'm going to add 1 towards the bottom, but after I do my journaling, it actually ends up finding a perfect spot where the typewriter had a little extra blank space, and it's going to nestle in on the journaling block here in a minute. You'll see. So I'm just going to take this vellum, and I always just use a pencil to trace around the edges and then put it through my vintage typewriter, and then I trim it out. And I like how this looks because it's a little transparent, but you can still see the color behind it rather than using like a white cardstock. I just like the look of it better than the white cardstock. And I have been using a lot of vellum this year, my December daily. Normally I'll use it here and there, you know, not too much, but this year I think I've used it pretty much in every layout that I've done. Just really like the look of it this year. And it works out. I think I just want to mask some of the background. Some of the background of the paper that I've been using is pretty busy, and I like how it kind of mutes out that background, but you can still see the background through it. So that's where that little star fits just perfect there in that little empty space. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to do the number 7 here on the picture of my daughter's socks. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you guys have a happy new year. I'm hoping to post a couple more videos before New Year's, so stay tuned for those. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and I will be back soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.